This is the Ideation Project, Season 1, Track 5. What does it mean when we mourn for the loss of someone who never existed? How do we assess the tears we've cried when a person who isn't real has died? Questions of this kind come to mind with TV season finales recently, where we once again saw main characters of popular series get killed off. If you're a Homeland fan, a belated spoiler alert that we'd said goodbye to Peter Quinn. And is there any more epic a spectacle that regularly messes with our emotions than The Walking Dead? This season marked the end of 3 primary characters, and another spoiler alert about the who and the when. We said goodbye to Sasha, Abraham, and Glenn. And it was a fair testament to universal sadness in this season's TWD Carnage aftermath. A fellow Dead devotee texted to say she was numb at the loss of Glenn. Another friend emailed that he probably wouldn't sleep after experiencing this. And on an NBC News site, a full-on eulogy and obituary was posted for one of the characters and the actor who would no longer be appearing. Indeed, the Walking Dead storyline led reasonable people, maybe someone you know or work with, to repeatedly feel as though they had experienced a loss in their own family. In fact, post-mortem referee Chris Hardwick declared as much in somber tones on the Talking Dead Roundup show after Glenn met his end. "Tonight we've lost part of our family," Chris said. He continued, "Even though we've known for months what was in store for us, I don't know if many of us were emotionally prepared for what was going to happen." This sentiment generalized as the Talking Dead formed something of a bereavement support group. A superfan told Hardwick at one point, "I feel empty. It's nice to be able to get through this together with everyone. It is cathartic." So what does it mean when we mourn the loss of someone who never existed? What does it say about us and our current world of so-called connectivity? Search attachment to fictional characters on your nearest server and you'll realize you're not alone in your fervor. There are thousands of heartfelt posts making this case that there's a lot of sadness taking place. On one mental health forum website, a user talks with commendable candor about how she's been experiencing depression since an anime character died in a series she binge watches. She recounts that after the program ended, she wanted to cry for months. "I'm sorry if my problem seems stupid," she says. "I admit it's laughable, but I don't have friends in the country I live in. All of my friends are on the internet." And with depression, it's just so easy to feel constantly lonely. And so it is in such a brave confession that we find a clue to this inclination. Loneliness, emptiness, and the search for social connection are not unrelated to what has been termed parasocial relationships. Abby Norman writes in a piece called The Psychology of Fandom that it boils down to empathy. We see in fictional characters what we identify in ourselves, and we grow an attachment to them. But then, at least when we empathize with someone who's actually in front of us, there is the possibility for a tactile experience, hugging them or squeezing their hand reassuringly, an experience that bolsters the emotional response. This does not exist with fictional characters. Rather, we risk projecting that empathy onto an actor who is simply reading the lines. Empathy increases the more informed we are about the details of any given situation. And with fictional characters, we are often given, Norman says, expositionally far more detailed and intimate knowledge of a character than we would ever know about someone in our real lives. And so, we mourn more for the loss of Glenn on The Walking Dead because we have a deeper sense of his backstory than we do about actual people we encounter and know in our daily life. Again, this is not new. And there are fringe benefits to the social interaction and real-world sense of community that comes with mourning the loss of fictional characters. You might say empathy is like playing the piano. More time spent pressing the keys will make you a better performer. But it's also worth holding a societal mirror to the implications of a growing experience of staring at screens rather than face-to-face with other humans. Not long ago, Callum Hood, a guy who plays in the band 5 Seconds of Summer, tweeted to his gazillion followers, "I have more emotional attachment to TV show characters than to real people." Well, that sentiment would be all kinds of charming if it wasn't also alarming. Psychology professor and fiction writer Jennifer Barnes has found in her study of parasocial relationships that what seems to be of most importance is how close we feel to a person, not whether they're actually real. Even more, we are knowingly engaging in something we accept is fictional, but yet we're moved by it beyond reality. The internet has increased the incidence of parasocial relationships where the user interacts as if they're in a typical relationship and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Professor Barnes notes the benefits of imaginary relationships tend to correspond quite closely with the benefits of real relationships. It's as if our social circle includes not just those who we know and love, but those who we fictionally know and love as well. And increasingly we draw social and emotional support from our fictional friends, a way of mitigating social emptiness. When we are unable to even discuss certain celebrities or fictional characters without getting overly emotional, you may argue that media proliferation is affecting us at dangerous levels. And there perhaps is the rub in all this. The deep emotional reaction to the loss of our fictional friends from The Walking Dead is no doubt emotion-laced, but is it in the end misplaced? What does it mean if we pour our energies into mourning the loss of someone who never existed? And what if your neighbor next door in real life truly needs your attention? Is it time for us all to have a reality intervention?